Hey boos, in this video I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. Oh, hell no.
Where is the plus size Ivy Park clothing? Where's it at, sis? Like, who approved this? Like, I know Beyonce, and I know Beyonce lives for the curvy girls just like she lives for you thin chicks. And there is no way in the world that my sister in my head, the mother of my favorite nieces and nephews, the big sister of my little sister Solange, and the wife of my favorite rapper would ever exclude me.
Hi guys, it's Yoni and I'm back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be covering a series of 3 topics. I'm going to be talking about the Ivy Park x Adidas campaign and launch. I'm also going to be talking about Instagram marking photos with a warning label, and it's going to be labeled as false information if the photo has been photoshopped. Also, I'm going to be talking about the Loni Love and Isaiah Factor uncensored drama. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. First up, we're going to be talking about the Ivy Park x Adidas launch and campaign. And people are giving Beyonce a hard time because she did not include plus size women. The largest size that was included in the launch was an XL, and the launch included sizes extra small to extra large. Pricing was $25 to $225, and that included accessories and outerwear. It also included bodysuits, hoodies, joggers, jackets, and 4 different sneakers. And the thing that did not make sense to me personally when I was researching this information, Adidas carries plus size. So I don't understand why they dropped the ball on including plus size women when it came to the Ivy Park x Adidas launch. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you know, it's really sad because you did feel a little excluded from this whole entire campaign, because when you saw last week the celebrities on Instagram get these huge orange boxes, basically it was a box filled with her entire line, and you didn't see any women that represented your body or your shape or your size. It was kind of like, okay, are we going to be included in the launch or are we not going to be included in the launch? So I could see how some women felt left out, especially if you're a diehard Beyonce fan. I understand where they're coming from, but for whatever reason Beyonce decided not to include you in this launch, and I'm not sure why, because Beyonce, to me, I felt like she's all about inclusivity, but for whatever reason this time around she did not include plus size women, and neither did Adidas. And that is something that they need to take into consideration as a team effort, because they did do a collaboration, and I'm sure they were at the drawing board trying to figure out sizing, trying to figure out who they're going to target, and they should have included plus size women, because the average woman in the US is a 16, and an extra large I believe is either a 12 or a 14. So it just didn't make sense. You really didn't cater to the majority, in my opinion. So it's really sad to see in 2020, but at the end of the day, you know, these companies want to cater to who they want to cater to, and you can either take it as a reality check and go back to your personal drawing board and decide who you're going to support versus who you're not going to support, or you can, you know, try to get their attention and see if they will include you for the next launch. So it's just something that I wanted to touch on a little bit. What are your thoughts on this topic? Make sure you comment them down below. Let's move on to Instagram. Instagram will soon be releasing this false information label. So this originally was created to prevent fake news from going viral, and they released this false information label all the way back in October of 2019. But now they're saying that they're going to also include Photoshop photos. Now they haven't put out a date as to when this is going to take place. The only thing that I'm really thinking about when it comes to this is how it's going to change the culture of Instagram, because Instagram is ran by plastic surgery and Photoshop photos, and it'll be nice to see bodies that are realistic even after they have plastic surgery, because some of these girls are getting plastic surgery and they still Photoshop their photos to death, and it's giving you an unrealistic standard of beauty when it comes to Instagram. So it's going to be nice to see a culture shift when it comes to Instagram and them coming out with this false information label behind Photoshop photos. Moving on to Loni Love and the Isaiah Factor Uncensored drama.
And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. Let's be real. Some men and women cheat. And according to Loni Love, black men can't help it. She recently talked about this while hosting The Real. Take a look.
A lot of black men, they really don't know how to have true, faithful relationships. They think because they have money, because they have power, that they can treat women any kind of way.
And I'm not going to allow that false narrative to be pushed upon black men, when the truth of the matter is men in general just make poor choices, and cheating is a poor choice.
That was Charlemagne the God sharing his opinion. We've got some guys here ready to share their opinions as well. Legendary rapper Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, Jay the Great, Dennis Sperling, and Sebastian Moore. Now, Dennis, let's start with you.
Yeah.
Your post today caught my attention, or it was yesterday, but you posted, "Tell Loni Love that all the black men she's been with cheated on her because her attitude is crap and her body is disgusting."
Well, I would like to add that her attitude is also disgusting.
Is that rough, though?
No, it's not rough, because if you understand what she's doing, is she's making it difficult for men like me and these other gentlemen on this panel. When you perpetuate those stereotypes and you put that out there, it makes it impossible for a person like Tamir Rice or the young boy that was shot down in Florida to be seen as a victim, because they're perceived as thugs. They're perceived as not loyal. They're perceived as criminals. So when I'm addressing the jury, I can't change their attitudes. I can't change their beliefs. And if their beliefs come from somebody who is supposed to know us as well as our mothers, then it's impossible for me to do that. And now anyone with common sense understands the point of why she would say that. Mm-hmm. She would say that to drive women who are non-black away from us. It's no different than in World War II, when the white GIs in France would tell the local French women, "Oh, those black GIs, they have tails. Leave them alone." And what that does is it forces the men to say, well, you know, they have to substantiate that, but then they also scares those women away from them. We understand that.
Let's bring you into this conversation. Is there any validity to what Loni Love said?
First of all, black men cheat for the same reason all men cheat, because they want to, all right? But let's just say that Loni Love was correct in her assessment of black men in regards to cheating. Even if that was true, she was remiss in omitting that it was white men who looked like her white husband who forced us into slavery in the first place and caused all this traumatic experience. It was white men who implemented welfare and mandated that our women kick our men out of the house so that man couldn't provide for his children, so he couldn't be there to raise his children and rear his children. So she was remiss in not covering that part, but she had to, because she was giving orders to make black men look bad. Now, the thing about Loni Love and people like her, like the Candace Owens and people like that, their job is to put a hit on black men. That's their job. Right. The people who stroke their checks can't do it, because they'll come off as the racists who they are. So they hire people that look like her to do the job for them.
So Loni Love is receiving backlash, and she's also being fat shamed behind her comment that she made on The Real behind black men and cheating. And you know what we're seeing when it comes to this Loni Love and Isaiah Factor Uncensored drama is the gender war. And that was the thing that I was talking about in my previous video, was that this gender war, it's getting out of hand and it's making us look foolish when we are being looked at from other races. You know, other races will never go on a public forum like The Real or like Isaiah Factor Uncensored and basically bash either gender. You know, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make us look good to the majority. And when I speak on the majority, I'm speaking on other races. You know, it makes us look foolish and it makes us look like we're just dysfunctional as hell when it comes to other races and how they carry themselves among each other within their community. Because at the end of the day, we each have our own communities based off of our culture. So, you know, it just makes us look, in my opinion, just foolish. And when it comes to Loni Love, I didn't agree with her generalizing on The Real for so many different reasons. But the number one reason wasn't because, oh, it made black men look bad. It was because it made her look bad. It made her look bad and made her fall into the stereotype of being the angry, bitter black woman. Because none of those other women up there on The Real came to her defense. None of those other women agreed with what she said. None of those other women had her back. If anything, they were trying to deflect the situation, which made her look like the angry, bitter black woman, which is the stereotype that they really try to enforce on us. And so when I made my commentary, that's where I was coming from. The same place that I was coming from when K. Michelle went on that radio show and made that generalization about men being bad people. It's the same thing. They were feeding into that angry, bitter black woman stereotype, and I'm not here for that. That makes black women look bad. It makes us look terrible. It makes us look like we are that stereotype. So I saw a ton of comments saying, oh, you're defending black men. No, I'm defending us. I don't want us to be stereotyped as the angry, bitter black woman. That is played out. However, when it comes to Isaiah Factor Uncensored and the gentleman on there that body shamed her, that's unacceptable. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to this gender war. As a man, you would think he would know how to be the bigger person, but he didn't. He didn't know how to be the bigger person, and he tried to belittle her. In my world, the principles that I live by, 2 wrongs will not make it right. Just because she spoke down on your character doesn't mean you turn around and you speak down on her appearance. So when he was trying to make his point and get his point across, he lost me as soon as he started speaking on her appearance. I stopped listening. I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to you bash this woman just like she bashed you. That doesn't make sense. I don't like feeding into that negativity. So when it comes to this Loni Love and Isaiah Factor Uncensored, this is the gender war agenda that I have been talking about on my platform, and I'm just not here for it. I hold black people to a higher standard. I believe that we can be emotionally intelligent, no longer dysfunctional based off of our trauma and our circumstances or our past experiences, that we can move forward and work together. But maybe I'm asking for too much. I'm not really sure. But you know, you have these people out here who get on these public forums and want to bash the next person as if we don't live among each other within our own communities. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that's all that I have regarding this video, you guys. And make sure you comment your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you haven't, hit the notification bell so that you are notified for when I upload. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next one.